Motion made by Alderman Putoff, seconded by Alderman Mueller. We are adjourned from committee as a whole at 7:40.
Okay, I'll call a regular city council meeting Monday, October 20, 2014 to order. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Alderman Putoff. Here. Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf. Here. Lukosius. Perez. Here. Radke. Here. Mueller. Here. Sapienza. Here. Mayor Harrell.
Here. Pledge of allegiance. No presentations?
No, Your Honor.
Any public comment cards for agenda items?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion to receive the minutes, place on file.
So moved, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Waldorf to receive the minutes and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Do we have a motion to receive the reports and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor. Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke to receive the reports and place on file. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. We'll move to committee reports. Finance Safety Services, Chairman Alderman Putoff.
Yes, Your Honor, Council, I'd like to review the disbursements for October 22nd of the year 2014. The total is $2,152,988.38. I'd like to make a motion that the bills be paid in the usual manner.
Second, Your Honor. A motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Ferrari to receive the disbursements, place on file, and pay the bills in the usual manner. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I have the approved fire department report for a period ending October 11, 2014. I'll make a motion to accept that report and place it on file.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Perez to receive approved fire department report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, I have the approved voluntary ambulance report. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. Approved voluntary ambulance responded to 202 patient calls for the month of September. Total mileage logged was 10,919 miles for the month of September. I make a motion to receive this report and place it on file.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Perez to receive approved voluntary ambulance service activity summary and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, I'd also like to make a motion tonight to authorize the mayor to execute the Recovery Zone Economic Development Bonds interest rebate form. And what that exactly is, it's a form that you're required to take care of or sign so the city can receive the interest payments back on the bond. So I'd like to make that motion tonight.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke to authorize the mayor to execute Recovery Zone Economic Bond interest rebate form. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, also in the finance, just reviewing tonight's work, that you see the sales tax is up approximately 2% over the year, which always is a good sign. We also have a report from the treasurer. If you look at the funds or the little description the treasurer has given us, the city right now is in a strong positive position as far as finances. Again, always keep an eye on spending, and as hopefully revenues will creep up in sales tax and other items. So I'd like to be positive from that standpoint. Tonight we also would like to introduce the city's new finance officer, which is a CPA with a couple years experience, and his name is Justin Miller. So welcome, Justin, and we're happy to have any questions you want to ask him. Hopefully you've got some something to share with us of what you're going to be doing in the near future.
Thank you for that introduction. I'm looking forward to it and excited to be here.
Great. Very busy. You did notice, I don't know if people will read the paper, but one of the articles in the Morris paper, they indicated that one of the problems that the city of Morris and a lot of municipalities have is that they don't have a CPA on staff to overview and give insight to a lot of their audits that happen, and certainly that's always a red flag when it comes up. So in being proactive, that we hope that Justin will fulfill that ability, and being a CPA, that's one of the items that we can fulfill and get that report from.
Welcome, Justin.
Okay.
Did you find a place to live? The parents' basement.
I told him he could have my second floor, but he said he'd have to have my refrigerator too, and I didn't feel like feeding him.
Officially start tomorrow or today or Wednesday? How's the rent?
Anything further from finance? Okay, Public Services, Chairman Alderman Walder.
Yes, sir, we have a couple of reports, gentlemen and ladies.
Your Honor, first report is the approved public library cash account summary for the period ending September 30th, 2014. Had a total disbursement of $33,001.79. Total revenue, total monies is $586,506.79. I'd like to make a motion to place the report on file.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Mueller to receive approved public library cash account and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Your Honor, we have the Peru Recreation Fund cash account summary for the period ending September 30th, 2014. Total funds available as of that time were $53,478.86. Looks to be roughly $11,000 over same time last year. I'd like to make a motion we accept this report and place it on file.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Sapienza to receive Peru Recreation cash account summary and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I have a letter from the Illinois Department of Transportation. The first paragraph of that reads, the Illinois Department of Transportation District 3's office staff in Ottawa is preparing plans to address drainage failure along U.S. Route 6, 4th Street in Peru, between Prospect and Pine Streets. The proposed plans include replacement of existing clay storm sewers with high-density polyethylene pipes, repair work of the sidewalk, and reconstruction of the embankment on the north side of the roadway. With that, I would like to make a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a letter of understanding regarding drainage failure for U.S. Highway 6, 4th Street between Prospect and Pine Streets.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Mueller to authorize the mayor to execute letter of understanding regarding drainage failure for U.S. 6. This is going to be work done by the Illinois Department of Transportation at no cost to the city. Alderman Waldorf, Alderman Mueller. Is there any discussion?
It's for no cost, Your Honor.
That-
They're going to pick up everything on this.
Upon completion of the work, City of Peru will resume the maintenance responsibility of the various items.
Alderman Putoff, that is correct. The Illinois
Right.
Department of Transportation will spend their funds to make these changes. We just assume the responsibilities of the current agreement in place, and that is the maintenance.
No engineering, anything
No
else
engineering
involved?
fees, no construction fees.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the proposal from Coolmaster Company Incorporated in the amount of $20,418 for atrium windows
at the fire department. Jeff, you want to catch us up with that a little bit?
Yeah, basically in the back, between the police department and us, there's windows that go all the way east and west along there. Last winter, one of the windows actually broke out, and it wasn't really, it's a two-pane window, it wasn't a big thing, but over the course now, the whole entire length of the windows are starting to leak, and with winter coming and stuff, we thought it'd be better to approach it now to get it taken care of than let it wait any longer. We let it wait about a year, and it's getting worse. So.
And also, Coolmaster can't get to this until 2015.
Right.
We had authorized it last year.
Yeah, we authorized it, then they said there's a 10-week waiting period right now, so.
I'll second the motion, Your Honor.
Who made the motion? Have a motion by Alderman Waller, second by Alderman Mueller, to accept a proposal from Coolmaster in the amount of $20,418 for the atrium windows, fire department. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Waldorf. Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I would like to make a motion to approve change order number 1 for $1,729.84, and change order number 2 for $12,982.58 with DJ Sickley Construction Company regarding the electric department cold storage building.
I'll second that.
What this is a man door. We're going to add a man door for $1,729. And the change order number 2 is a change in the foundation structure. So these are ongoing construction costs, but we're not in the original specs, so we need those change orders.
As I understand it, it's because the building.
Correct. Just to clarify on that, in the spec is the foundation. We give them a baseline. We don't specify which building manufacturer the contractor has to use. Once they select their building manufacturer, that manufacturer supplies the loading of their building type to the contractor, which in turn caused for some changes in the foundation work. Changes are minimal, but as you can imagine, price for steel, et cetera, that is involved in these foundations is quite expensive.
And this still keeps the price as the minimum bid?
That's correct, Mike. We're still significantly under that.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Waller, second by Alderman Sapienza. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Finally, Your Honor, I'll make a motion to award the bid to Putnam County Painting to clean the interior of the 1-million-gallon tank, water storage tank, for $450 per hour with an 8-hour minimum.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Chris, you want to?
Sure.
give us
What
a
this
little bit on that?
is we went out and got a couple quotes, and Putnam County Painting, which is the local company, was the cheapest, and actually their $450 per hour is a little more realistic. Some of the other quotes, they just kind of try to guess it, and they don't know, and they end up coming back for more. There's no really good way of telling how long it's going to take, but it's at least a day, day and a half worth of work. And it takes the tank out of, we take it out of service, they clean it, and then if it needs any painting, they'll paint it on the inside and then put it back into service again. So something that gets done every so often.
Which one is it, Chris?
I think we're starting with the south tower, and then we're going to do the north tower. And this is this is inside, yeah. Eventually, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and second. If there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved. Back to the mayor to execute the letter of understanding regarding the drainage failure. Paragraph 2, the purpose of this letter is to assure the city approved that the state will assume all engineering construction costs for the proposed work. And upon completion of the work, the city approved will resume the maintenance responsibility of various items in accordance with paragraph 10 of the attached agreements. This has been in effect since 1969. And they're rebuilding it now. They did the same thing back in 1969, and they're rebuilding it again. It's back when the clerk was Peter Clausen, 1969. So that was just, that was the explanation on that. Okay, report city attorney, ordinances, resolutions.
Yes, Your Honor, the first ordinance establishes regular meeting dates for the city council for calendar year 2015. Again, it's always on Mondays except September 8th will be a Tuesday.
I'll make a motion that we accept the ordinance as written and read, establishing the dates.
Second.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Perez, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Koshis. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, the ordinance establishing the meeting dates for the Finance and Safety Services Committee for 2015. Again, all of those are on Wednesdays, except for December 23rd would be on a Tuesday. Those are at 4 o'clock.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Waldorf, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Koshis. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller. Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Well, the next ordinance, I'll go over that. We talked about it just in general terms, and if anybody wants any changes, because I know we haven't gone over specifics, I did speak with ASM Doug Burnaby today, and he thought it was okay. But this would be to address the situation to allow encroachments within public rights-of-way. The most recent request would have been a decorative 4-foot fence to address that on a corner lot. Other encroachments, you might have handicapped ramps that extend beyond the existing structure. Other things that would be common may be signage, like on 4th Street, that might extend over the city right-of-way. We're trying to establish an administrative procedure for that without the necessity of formal hearings or city council approval. So let's go through that slowly. This would add a new section 94-4 to the Code of Ordinances, and the city building inspector may grant a license. Now, a license by legal definition is terminable at will. So applicant a license terminable at will to allow an encroaching structure or landscaping within the public right-of-way upon the following terms and conditions. 1, the applicant shall submit to the building inspector plans and specifications of the proposed structure or landscaping encroaching within the public right-of-way, which shall include a description of the structure or landscaping, dimensions from property boundary lines, and the means and methods of installation. I think you should also address landscaping on a situation like this. We had issue down on 13th Street a number of years ago, but the one that bothers me is going north on, I think it's Lafayette and LaSalle, and trying to make a left-hand turn with those 3 real tall evergreens. I mean, you have to just creep out very slowly, and that creates a dangerous condition. This provides the applicant shall submit letters of approval of the proposed encroaching structure from all contiguous property owners. And before the building inspector can issue the license, it should be approved by the city engineer, so you can address such things as public utilities. The chief of police, so you can address such things as traffic visibility hazards. Chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals, because that's something that's generally within the province of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and the alderman of the ward in which the proposed encroaching structure is proposed to be located. And then the building inspector may establish such terms and conditions deemed necessary before the issuance of the license, including proof of insurance and reimbursement to the city of any expense incurred. If the city has to incur any out-of-pocket expense on utility determinations or what, can make that a condition preceding to the issuance of the license. The intent of this article is to provide an administrative procedure to address non-controversial decorative fences, signs in businesses or manufacturing districts encroaching over public rights-of-way, landscaping or similar structures or objects without the formality and expense of a public hearing and direct approval by the City Council. License issued under this article should be upon such terms and conditions as set forth by the building inspector, but all such licenses shall be terminable at will by the City Council or building inspector. And if such a license is terminated, the property owner shall remove all such structures and or landscaping within the city right-of-way within 30 days. No property rights shall be granted by the license. And the applicant and property owner, jointly and severally, shall be solely responsible for the encroaching structure or landscaping and shall indemnify and hold the city harmless from any liability with respect thereto. So, if anybody has anything you want to add, or we want to simplify the procedure to be able to allow such structures if it's nothing controversial or objectionable.
The only concern I have is you don't have the city council signing off on the license. You only have... No,
the two aldermen of the ward in which the property is located.
So then I'm concerned that if one person is granted and one person is denied, there's no opportunity for an individual to have a hearing or any type of review of why they were denied for that license when some other person was granted a license.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, we could bring it back. In fact, that was my initial thought, and we have one such situation now, and, you know, I didn't prepare an ordinance for the property on 6th Street because this procedure would kind of moot that. I was just trying to avoid continual legal expense and hassle. But, I mean, that point's well taken. Why don't you try this, see if it works. If it doesn't, then you might want to make an amendment that if somebody is denied, they could appeal it to the city council.
Yeah, I'm not sure the point of the alderman signing off on it either, if that's even something that you need. If you've got three other people, the city engineer, the public works superintendent, and the neighbors, I think that pretty much solidifies. 99% of these are simple concepts, meaning somebody puts a little landscaping on a small fence, and this just enables them to continue that process because we have probably 500 of those within the city without going through a hearing and paying the cost of doing that. So,
you want to take aldermen out?
I think so.
Yeah, I sort of like the idea of the alderman being in, the two aldermen being involved in it, as far as because at least it lets them know what's going on in their ward when there is something.
I don't think you want to be granting licenses to people to do things on city's property without consent of corporate authority, which would be us. Does that make sense to you?
Sure, wherever you want.
We do have a means of unifying the whole city through the people the others that are putting an okay on them through the police chief and.
I mean, people get building permits every day without it coming back to the city council. But if you want to be involved, it's your pleasure.
The only ones I see are the two. That was my suggestion. Just the two stay on, just so that you know what's going on in your ward a little bit more. That was the only comment, not the 8.
That's a good point.
Oh, we don't sign off for building permits.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I think really Doug and Jeff and Eric have been doing an outstanding job getting us notifications of everything that's been going on in the city.
Right.
If there's not a legal issue with it, I'm fine with it. I just thought if you're giving a license to somebody for city property, that someone of authority should grant that. We don't give building permits for people to build on city property. They build on private property.
What do you just want?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I can see that too.
I agree. I think it's a very good ordinance. I'm not gonna hold it up with a no vote.
Right.
If that's what everybody feels, just for the two aldermen, because we are notified pretty much. It was just a thought of mine.
I'm fine with it. I mean, as far as the aldermen go, if it's just the two aldermen, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, they should, but I mean, either way, like they said, they've been doing a fine job
Well,
keeping
and I
us
would
up
hope
to
that
date.
the alderman would go with what
Right.
the recommendation is, that,
Right.
that, one alderman is
The
gonna
license
hold
is
it up.
terminable at will by a vote of the city council.
This is city council or building inspector.
Okay, that's fair then.
Okay. Do we have a motion and a second? No, we don't have, who's the motion and second, or do we even have one yet? We need a motion and a second. And it will be as read, as written and read. Is that what you've decided? Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Radke to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any further discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Aye. Alderman Ferrari. Waldorf. Prokosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, we have a resolution authorizing a letter of intent for the sale by the city of the approximate 3.5 mile rail line known as Peru Rail to Illinois Railway LLC, which is a division of Omnitrax. The city, because of liability, maintenance expense, and other reasons, desires to sell Peru Rail and has entered into preliminary negotiations for the sale of Peru Rail to Illinois Railway. And they're requesting that we enter into the attached letter of intent concerning the sale. The conveyance would be by quitclaim deed. The sale price would be $1,250,000. Incidentally, when the railway was originally acquired by the city purchased it for $325,000. And they would be given this 60-day period of due diligence. Anybody can back out of the letter of intent at any time with or without cause, both the city and Illinois Railway. And this just gives them a 60-day period of exclusivity. Fact of the matter is, I mean, the railway only connects to the Omnitrax line that then connects to the Burlington Northern. So Omnitrax or Illinois Railway is one and the same. They're the only player to go from Peru Rail to their own tracks to the Burlington Northern. The letter of intent also has a contingency that the city shall annex and zone land prior to the closing, and I don't know if they've submitted any petition for annexation and zoning yet, but this would be something that will be addressed during the 60-day period of due diligence. We had an appraiser look at the property, give the city advice concerning the sale of it. There's been meetings, as you know, with Illinois Railway, and the biggest reason for the city is it'll probably take about $8 million or so to harden the existing rail. It needs a lot of maintenance at the present time. Full car loads cannot be transported over that rail at the present time. If they own it, they would bring the rail up to grade such that it could handle full car loads. And there's always the liability issues concerning the railway. And they'd also have to construct another track just for the holding of cars along their existing route where it connects with Peru Rail. So you're looking at very substantial investment in the upgrade of that property. And there'll be more parties out there marketing contiguous property to the railroad and hopefully bring in more business.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept the other resolution and
So moved, Your
written
Honor.
read?
Second, Your Honor.
A motion by Alderman Plow, second by Alderman Mueller to approve the resolution as written and read. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, I just want to, I think a lot of these things Doug had said, but back in the 90, I think it was 92 or 93, the city bought the railroad for $325,000. And if I remember at the time, everybody thought we were crazy for doing it because it was a railroad basically going nowhere. But the idea behind Mayor Baker and the council was we would use that railroad to really develop and help manufacturing in the north end of town. And over the course of time, some manufacturing has used that quite a bit, and it's been very helpful. And now I think it's a great time to sell it because of the amounts of money we have to put in it, the liability that we have to put in it. But I think the most important thing is that the company now that's buying it will make an investment into marketing additional opportunities for that railroad and something that we really couldn't do. So I see that as a, somewhat a positive. Despite the amount of money that we're making on the deal, it's still a positive that it's in somebody else's hands. So from that area, I think it's pretty supportive of that.
Also, I should add, the other reason, it's going to have to be approved by the what's called the Surface Transportation Board. So there'll be a period of that because now it's just considered an industrial track and it'll be brought right in legally with the existing Omnitrax or Illinois Railway system and the National Railroad system, and that will require Surface Transportation Board approval. It'll be done by Omnitrax, not by the city.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Mueller. If there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Koshis. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, a resolution authorizing a law firm of Kleinthorpe and Jenkins Ltd. to represent the city. The city has been approached by representatives of DMAR LLC for and on behalf of Eastwind Theaters, Inc., a division of Carmike Cinemas, concerning the development of a large 10-screen, reclining leather seat, food and beverage service, cinema entertainment center. Whereas the site for the proposed theater development is at the Access LLC property and proposed to be located north of Hy-Vee. The law firm of Kleinthorpe and Jenkins prepared the original tax increment financing district for the Access development and the development and sales tax rebate agreements for the Access development. Whereas the engagement of Kleinthorpe and Jenkins concerning the theater development is a matter pertaining to the government affairs of the city is a proper public purpose and in the best interest of public health, safety, and welfare. Now therefore be it resolved, City Council finds its facts, recitals hereinbefore set forth. Section 2, law offices of Kleinthorpe and Jenkins are engaged together with Schweigert & Gaddison LLP Corporation Counsel of the City to represent the city concerning the theater development, such other and related matters as the mayor from time to time may determine. Resolution shall be effective immediately from and after its passage and approval. Kleinthorpe and Jenkins had done all the original work on behalf of the city, and as you know, still represents the city in labor matters, but they had done all the original work concerning the area up at Hy-Vee, and that was the establishment of the initial tax increment financing district and the existing sales tax rebate agreement concerning that development. So I thought it appropriate to have them be involved in the preparation of any agreements with Access LLC and the developers of the theater, which is the same owners as is in the theater at the Peru Mall. Unfortunately, they have approached the city many times, saying that what they want to do, and this if throughout the country, this is kind of the way theaters are going, is to develop a new family entertainment center that would be, if you're going to some of the newer theaters, the leather reclining seats, the food and beverage service, and more importantly, the very larger screen theaters. And at least what they've told the city is that they have looked every which way at doing it at the Peru Mall, but given the physical constraints there and what they want to do, and how they see the future of theater entertainment going, it doesn't work for them, and they're going to build this new complex somewhere. And you know, obviously we want them to build it in Peru. The lease, is what they have told us, is that it expires the end of next year. They are agreeable to the imposition of an entertainment or amusement tax to fund incentives that they feel are necessary for this development. That amusement tax would only be a ticket tax on those that actually go to the theater, so it's a voluntary tax in that sense. And you know, these are the things that'll be coming up in the future to address this issue and this proposed development. One nice thing would be eventually you would have a road then that would come all the way around and connect to North Peoria Street, and then you would have another 4 or 5 lots after this development to develop. So the whole area would then be hopefully fully developed, and they say they'll attract other businesses, and it remains to be seen.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the resolution as written and read.
And all this does here is just engage Kleinthorpe and Jenkins to work on, you know, initial paperwork.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear, we haven't agreed on any development or anything as far as the council as of now.
I think it is unfortunate that they are leaving the Peru Mall. That is going to be a big void for the mall in the community. But I do compliment the council on being proactive and working with another group to bring in that similar type of entertainment. Quite obviously, it develops a lot of business around it, and certainly will be positive for our city.
Okay.
Motion. I'll second that, Your Honor.
A motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Perez to approve the resolution as written and read. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Koshis. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
The next is an ordinance authorizing an amendment to the mutual aid box alarm system agreement. Chief King, did you want to make any notes on this change?
Yeah, basically what Mavis wants to do is make sure we keep up with the understanding of all the counties and all the cities being involved in the box card agreement. So this is an updated ordinance just to make sure that we're on board with their system.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the resolution, the ordinance as written and
So moved,
read.
Your Honor.
we have a second?
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Perez, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Coaches Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapiens.
Motion approved. Okay, no further ordinances or resolutions?
No, Your Honor.
No, sir. Okay, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? New business. This past weekend, the glass decoration, I guess it would be, the IMEA had their annual meeting and then their annual banquet this past Friday night. It was their 30 years. May of 1984. Prue was one of the founding members in the IMEA, and actually Joe Prazen was a board member from 1984 until 2009, and then it was Jim Putoff, and it was their 30 year. At the board meeting earlier in that day, back in April of 2011, the board gave the go-ahead for the IMEA office to file a lawsuit with Ameren. Ameren was changing their rate in charging for distribution services below 138 kV, and we felt, the agency felt, and the board went along with the agency, that we felt that was unfair, so we filed a lawsuit, and that, once again, that was April of 2011. From April 2011 until actually they received a check for $6.5 million on Friday was awarded to them. The $6.5 million will be divided up amongst all of the member cities, depending on what what your power usage was during that time. Legal fees totaled $951,000 over that 2 years, so it wasn't cheap. But the agency had a good case, and they won the lawsuit. There's $6.5 million check that once again will be dispersed for what we felt, and the courts agreed with it, was unfair to have these extra charges for customers under 138 kV. So that was some good news, and they will be starting with reissuing some bonds, roughly $700–800 million worth of bonds, and we have a strategic planning down there on the 5th and 6th of November, where they'll be having their bond people. So that will be quite interesting to see what they have to say about that. Once you're dealing with a $600 or $700 million worth of bonds, that would be quite interesting. So $1 million here, $1 million there, it adds up. So we'll see what happens and how much money they're able to save through their reissue of the bonds. That's all I have for the new business.
Your Honor?
Alderman Press?
Yes. I have, in regards to committee as a whole meetings, I had some citizens reach out and with some concerns of how we are conducting our committee as a whole meetings, with intentions of thinking that they could come to our committee as a whole to listen to what we have to say as a group in an informal setting, and discuss our committee groups and any discussion that we have. But we usually go into we open up our committee as a whole, and then we go right into closed session without any time to do any business, regular business. Is there anything that we could do to make some adjustments to our committee as a whole? I know that we have the media that comes in right at the beginning of our committee as a whole, and they sit here for an hour waiting for us to get out. And then if we have any other citizens that come in to listen to what we have to discuss, they're pretty much wasting their time. Is there anything or any kind of an adjustment that we can make to our committee as a whole meetings, so we're not putting out the public?
We had agenda items that we needed to discuss. If there's not a motion in a second, and if it's not voted on by the majority of the council, we won't go into a committee of whole. We won't discuss it. We would have had to table some of the items that were on the agenda for tonight. Can there be something different? How many times have we done it? We have done it the last 3 meetings, I believe, but you guys tell me. I think it's a perfect time.
I was at the meeting tonight. There was one person here. Sorry, Chuck.
I just wanted to express what the concerns were of the public, so I wanted to do that and see if there was any other changes that could be made, so.
We've done it enough, and if you're coming to the meeting, if you look at the posted agenda, it shows that we're going to approve minutes and go directly into closed session. And if we make it out in time, we have discussion. There was quite a bit of discussion that went on in there, and actually we went long. We were 7:35, 7:37, something like that.
Yeah, there's no question. Our closed sessions are definitely warranted. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we cover a lot of very important business. But I was just wanting to address the council and the concerns that some of the public has as far as them wanting to hear what we have to say as far as the committee as a whole goes. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, anything else under new business? Do we have a proclamation? Healthcare Quality Week. Whereas the people of Peru, Illinois are concerned with quality, cost, access to, and safety of healthcare, and whereas improved healthcare outcomes result in better quality of life and decreased healthcare costs, which ultimately benefits the citizens of Peru, Illinois, and whereas healthcare quality professionals make a positive contribution to improved healthcare quality by educating, monitoring processes and outcomes, analyzing data to facilitate improved systems, helping to integrate new evidence-based practices, maintaining high ethical standards, and leading continual improvement initiatives in the varied healthcare organizations providing service to the citizens of Peru, Illinois. Whereas the delivery of high-quality, cost-effective, and safe healthcare to its citizens is important to the city of Peru. Whereas healthcare quality professionals across Peru, Illinois have demonstrated a commitment to those goals in their work across the healthcare delivery system. Now, therefore, I, Scott Harrow, Mayor of the City of Peru, Illinois, do hereby urge all citizens to take due note of the observances of October 19th through 25th, 2014 as Healthcare Quality Week. We have a motion to receive, place on file, and proclaim October 19th through 25th as Healthcare Quality Week.
So moved, Your Honor.
Do we have a second?
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Perez, second by Alderman Ruler. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Petitions, communications,
We don't have any, Your Honor.
public comment?
Your Honor, if I could just mention that the Peru Recreation Halloween Parade is this Saturday. Line up at 1:45, and the parade starts at 2 o'clock. Put your costume on, we'll see you there.
And they're assembling at Rotary Park this time instead of Pike Street or Schuyler. Okay, is there any public comment at this time?
A couple weeks ago, on the 6th, I stood here in front of you guys and asked you for some answers about a situation with my basement. I believe Mr. Bartley said he was waiting for some answers, hopefully by the end of the week, back from the city's insurance about the claim that they had submitted. Also, I'd like to know why Mr. Waldorf and Mr. Radke decided they wanted to talk to me about that after the council meeting out back in the parking lot here. And again, in that conversation, I was assured that the city was not going to leave us hanging around without having any answers. 2 weeks have passed again. Nothing's changed. So I need some answers, guys, so I know how I need to proceed at this point, and I'd appreciate that if I could get that.
Okay, blame me. Okay. I didn't know about the situation until well after the fact, and then a lot of it hearsay, and after I heard, why are you trying to do your own adjusting of claims, making liability determinations? That's what you have an insurance company for. So your claim, as you know, was submitted to the city's insurance carrier. And they came up with the determination that the city has no liability. So, and I know representations and that were made to you,
Why have I yet to hear anything from the insurance company?
because that's where the claim was submitted, to the insurance
I haven't heard
company.
anything from anybody.
Well, the city has, because the city submitted the claim on behalf of you. Well, because I was directed now to send you a letter telling you, and I haven't done it yet, but that's, you know, a matter of pending litigation that was also discussed in, you know, closed session. But I will send you a letter advising you of our insurance company's determination that they have determined that the city has no liability. So your recourse is, one, turn it into your own insurance company.
How can I turn it in 3 months later?
Well, I don't know, or hire a lawyer and do what you need to do. And, you know, and I appreciate, you know, your frustration. I don't think it should have gone the way it did in the beginning. Yeah, okay. But, yeah, we have to follow what our insurance carrier tells us to do.
3 months after the fact.
No, and I don't blame your frustration for that.
I have no idea what my frustration is.
Sir, I had 3 times your loss a number of years ago for a very similar situation. I turned mine in immediately to my homeowner's insurance carrier, and I do know the frustration, believe me.
We were told by the city not to turn it into our insurance company. That the city was responsible. That's what we were told.
Well, if any representative of the city told you that, they were wrong, and it was an improper thing to do. Well, it did not come before the city council. If representatives from the city had told you things, and ma'am, I'm not disputing that point. All I can tell you is that historically, and been here for 37 years, when situations like that come, the city would historically just turn it in to the city's insurance carrier. And it wasn't...
Why didn't they do it? Why didn't they turn it in when it happened?
I agree with you. I'm not disputing that.
So why are you leaving me holding the ball? I could have turned it into my homeowner's insurance. I was instructed not to do it. Then 3 months after the fact, my homeowner's insurance flat out told me, you're not going to file a claim because we're not going to accept it. We're not going to send an adjuster. There's nothing for us to adjust 3 months later. So how can I turn it into my homeowners?
And I will cite for the record that these are my constituents, and I completely side with them through this case. So I feel bad for what they're having to go through.
Not just one, that the city was going to take care of it. And you started that process. You sent a dumpster up there. You sent cleaning people up there. You paid for a washer and dryer, amongst other things that's going to have to be replaced. Do you know that that's a Class 3 spill under the IICRC? Do you know what that means as far as removing the material that's there?
So I'm not going to debate the merits with you here. Do what you got to do, and the city will do like any other lawsuit. They'll send it over to its insurance carrier for defense. And I'm sorry, and I understand your frustration. And it was poor policy at the time for the city to even get involved in the first instance. It should have immediately been turned over.
Right when they came up there, you wouldn't be involved. The reason it happened is because they couldn't fix the problem. Their solution was to dump 40 tons of rock on it and make it worse.
Well, sir, I don't want to debate the merits with you.
That's a fact.
Your downspouts apparently dump right into the city sewer.
My downspouts have nothing to do with the
Well, that
problem.
isn't what the carrier's saying. So take your argument to court. That's what courts are for.
I have no
I'm
idea
not
what the
arguing
carrier's
for-
saying, because I have nothing from the carrier. There again, the last thing I was told was that carrier would contact me after the adjuster's report. This little deal you're talking about, I don't know how you could even be accurate because he hadn't even completed his report back to the insurance company yet.
The city has his report, and they have a denial of claim. So what do you want me to tell you?
Nothing. You've already told me to get an attorney, so that's what I'll do.
Public comment, any other public comment? Any other public comment? Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Sapienza. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.